Gay marriage is legal in New York State. Yeah! If you're wondering why I'm super sweaty, that would be because for sound I have to turn off all the cool making devices in my room, like the fans and whatnot. So it's gonna be a sweaty video, y'all. Whew. So I got back from the YouTube Creator Institute last week, and I was so happy that I was coming back to a state where gay marriage was finally legal. And despite the fact that I was completely exhausted after waking up early in the plane rides and whatnot, I decided that I was going to go out and witness a few of the very first same-sex marriages in New York State. However, when I got to the clerk's office, I saw this. This is 4 blocks worth of people screaming, "Let the people vote." A group of mostly black people and Hispanics screaming that not all people should be equal. And they brought signs like this and their children to show how much they supported that idea. That makes sense. And despite the fact that they spent hours screaming, "Let the people vote," not a single one of these simple mouth breathers took the time to do the research to find out that earlier on this year they actually did a poll and found out that a majority of New York State residents actually support same-sex marriages. You guys are idiots. Reading is fun and fundamental. And of course, because cool people were celebrating awesome things, the Westboro Baptist Church was there to protest it.
Number 2, you're not even a Christian.
Or as I like to call them, the hateful butterflies. They were pretty small in size. Obligatory "that's what she said" joke. Ding! Unfortunately, the only group smaller than them was the group of people who came out to support same-sex marriages. Which made me think, if the majority of people in this state support same-sex marriages, then how come not even 30 people could come out to exhibit those beliefs? I mean, that's not even 1%. What the snot? The best way you can tell how many people there are is the fact that it took 20 minutes for all of them to creep on by, and those of us who are supporters pieced out in like 30 seconds. So, where was everyone else? In the Shaytard vlogs, Shay Carl mentions the Genovese syndrome a lot. In college, strictly out of interest, I actually studied a lot of criminology, and I studied that case. A girl was murdered at the bottom of a staircase while her friends and more than 100 others within a 200-foot radius listened to her scream. After studying that, I kept putting myself in her place every single time I stepped to the bottom of the staircase for the next, like, week. I would look up and imagine her seeing that door that she needed to get to. That person that must be behind the door that must be hearing me. Oh, I'm getting sad. And for the next week, I spent the entire time just completely terrified every single time I stood in that place that I imagined to be hers. I would take that first step and then run up the rest of the stairs because I kept thinking that if I don't reach that door that something like that might happen to me. I got a lot of cardio that week, but I spent a lot of it really scared as well. Shay Carl calls it the Genovese syndrome, but it is also called crowd theory. The theory that if you don't do anything, someone else will take care of it, so you don't really have to worry about it. People have died while people have thought this process through. It is not something that needs to happen, and it is the exact same thing that happened here. Why show up for a protest that you know will be filled, except for the simple fact that everyone thought the exact same thing? Therefore, not even 30 people showed up. Now, I am absolutely not saying that I'm amazing, because the fact of the matter is that there have definitely been times when I have done nothing. Seen someone in trouble, seen something happening, and I knew I could stop, but figured someone else would handle it. I mean, I live in the middle of New York. Sometimes if you do stop, you get injured. So, you just kind of leave it up to chance sometimes. But I can tell you right now that I regret it every single time I do nothing. Which is why I went out on Sunday. So I could have a time where I did something and felt proud of myself for it. So I'm going to ask you guys, was there a time in your past where crowd theory applied to you, where you thought someone else would take care of it? How did it make you feel? Did you find it to be necessary for you to not do anything, or did you feel bad for it after? I would also like to hear your stories about times when you stood up and did not let crowd theory interact. You said, no, I will be the person to stand up. I will be the person to do something. Please leave a video response or a comment of you explaining the situation and how either side made you feel down below. I absolutely love you guys. You guys are totally my scoops of beautiful. I'm so sorry that I haven't been making videos this past week. I was going through something when I left the YouTube Creator Institute. I really didn't want to leave. And apparently I wasn't the only one who felt that way, so we created a way so we never actually had to say goodbye. Check it out! Click, 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 click. Yeah! So my absolute favorite times that did not suck from last week Sunday are when the gays and gay supporters started taunting the Westboro Baptist Church.
Shirley, tell the truth, how much you hate me. Shirley, tell the cops when you write on your website, Shirley.
They started taunting them because this group showed up. And this woman was wearing this shirt. As soon as she saw them, she like covered up her shirt because she's a coward, obviously. I cannot believe how much those guys at Westboro Baptist Church were complete and total cowards, and yet had the absolute goal to carry this sign while standing behind cops that had no choice but to protect them because it was their job. Meanwhile, they lost friends on that day. So, Westboro Baptist Church, punch in the balls!